This is NewHampshireCrossCountry.com, powered by Runner's Alley. We're coming at you from the 2021 New Hampshire Meet of Champions. This year's Meet Hub is brought to you by Arthur Thomas Properties, the Seacoast's leader in property management, leasing, and real estate sales. We are about to witness the boys race, and what a race we can expect today. There's a lot of things to look at, but first off, we'll take a look at our top teams.
Okay, the big three. Been battling all year. Cole Brown comes in probably as a slight favorite over Bishop Girton. A repowered Concord team's got a full team today. Pinkerton, Wyndham, Hanover, Londonderry, Oyster River, Exeter, and Keene will all be vying for the top 6 spots. Hey, it's anybody's game after top 3 for those other 3 spots.
Yeah, you mentioned top 6. Those 6 move on to New England's next week in Thetford, Vermont. Individually, it's top 25. Doesn't matter if they're on team or not. 26, you're not making it unless your team qualifies. Individually, we've got a returning champion.
Returning champ and record holder, Cole Brown's Aiden Cox. But he'll be challenged today by the great Gandini. Gandini beat him earlier on in the year, so is it really a 2-person race? I'm not sure. There's some other guys here that'll challenge.
I wouldn't count out Torrin Kindop.
He looked great last week.
We haven't seen much of him, but he did look great last week. We know he can finish. And as with the girls, I wouldn't be surprised to see your top 3 be representing the top 3 individual divisional champions from last week. And also, Nate Kondakowski, he's had a good season, but after the track season he had, I expected he would even be more dominant this fall. So he may actually pop and be up there. He seems to have largely abandoned his go out real hard strategy. And, to be honest, it almost seemed to work better for him to put himself in a higher position early.
Yeah, so and ultimately, I mean, this is more of a flat course that should help him, as he is a very strong track runner. Speaking of helping, we've got Aidan Cox's crew behind him. Look for Hogney, Kasich, and Lano all to be up in the mix. Keene, we already mentioned Torrin Kindop, but he will have some teammates. Lebanon's
Kuhanu Harriman, he is the sleeper. He is the guy that everybody fears right now, because you don't know what he's going to do. Exactly. Came in second place last week. Telling you right now, he's a diamond in the rough.
He strikes me as someone who's just learning to race, who's got a ton of ability, and that's the kind of kid that can be dangerous, because you never know how much he might make a big jump from week to week, even when he's already running well. So we'll see.
Concord, another one of those top teams again. Look for Hooper and Hiltz to lead the way for them. Sanborn, you can never count out the Khalils. And then everyone's favorite, Dover.
Tyler Sheedy. We'll see what we can say. I think he's going to run a real smart race today, and he'll be right in the top 10. I would expect John Murphy to be up in the top 10 also.
And it's funny, with Concord has that solid top 3, but they never seem to play out their races the same way. You never know who's going to be up front. Murphy is someone who could fall back in a race and then suddenly rally and come back and surprise you. So if he runs the way he did toward the end of spring track season today,
and don't count on Concord as an upset today. Last week they didn't have their number 4. They got their number 4 back today, so we'll see what happens.
Yeah, that ranking wise they're 3rd from the merger, but with that extra runner, that could really push them up there. I think the battle really is going to be up front, at least for the first couple of miles in this race. Aiden Cox earlier this year, not 100%. He had a couple of things going on. Last week, he looked pretty smooth, looked pretty relaxed by that finish line. No one really pressuring with him. So we'll see what happens today, because I do expect Gandini to be right in his pocket.
Yeah, and I expect Cox to go out smart today, make a move somewhere after the mile.
I don't think anybody's going to want to seize this one from the gun. We'll see that.
Well, you talk about the gun. These runners are all on the line, ready to go.
I'm excited about this race. It's going to be a good one.
Looks like the starter putting on that ear protection, which means we're moments from going, people.
Perfect day. Can't get any better than this. Better than 2018 with 6 inches of water. Caught a lucky one.
Guns up. And they're off. Your 2021 Boys Meet a Champion race. They are coming at us now. We'll see if anyone goes for that early lead spot. On the right side, we see all our individual qualifiers. Teams coming from the left. And coming from the left.
Come on, Casey!
Making that early push. Keen playing it smart.
You know, we never met.
All right, we're here at the 600-meter mark. See Nate Fondakowski, John Murphy, Kindop, Hills, Cox, Bandini, Sheedy, bunch of guys right in there. Murphy's running fast up there. Surprised by that. The teams to watch, as we said, is Cole Brown, Burton, and Cocker. There's our leader.
Nate Fondakowski. We got Aiden Cox, the Break Andini, Torin Gindup, Jonathan Hills, the Concord crew. John Murphy, like I said, he veered up there last load me. Tyler Sheedy running this my race. Gordon looks well, but so does Concord.
Yeah, it's early, but Keen, Concord, Cole Brown.
The big three are all right there.
We're gonna have to move a little, buddy.
That was a three-team battle for sure right there.
Fondakowski was smooth, but he always does, to be honest. When he's flagging, he's one of those good-looking runners.
Yeah, he reminds me of Pat Porter. Remember Pat Porter? How sweet-looking runner he was?
We're here at the mile here. The boys are rolling. Aiden Cox is leading the way right here. Clock says 4:50 as he's coming through. Good Fondakowski, then
Stay loose.
Bandini.
Hang tough.
Next we got a group here, this Kindop Division I state champion. Murphy, Cooper. Concord's got 3 right now. Cole Brown's got 4 right there. Let's go, right where you need to be. There we go. Wesley. So there we go. Concord's got their 5th in. Hanover's doing well too. Oyster's got a couple guys. Keen's up there. Right now, I mean, the question comes back is how Cox is Cox out? It looks really, really smooth. Here we see the guys settling out here. Fast day. Beautiful day, 50 degrees, sunny. 5:38. So you see these guys working hard. They're coming through around 6 minutes right now. It's a pretty good race when the whole entire field goes under 6:20 through the mile.
Way out in front already.
He must be feeling pretty good today.
Aiden Cox with a 30-yard lead over Nate Fondakowski. Gandini running in 3rd, and he's got a 30-yard lead on the next pack. 3-person race. Harriman, Kindop, Hooper, Murphy, Hills. Concord looks like they're in good shape. Brennan.
Kindop worked his way up last week.
Hanover's come to race today too. Look at him. It's Concord's 4th and 5th and 6th.
These boys are charging through hard, can feel the ground shaking.
Tyler Watt needs to get up there.
Pretty impressive to see Cox up that far this early.
Yeah, I didn't think he was going to make that move so quick. But he must be feeling good.
He put about 5-6 seconds on Fondakowski between about 1,100 meters and where we are close to 2K.
So team-wise, it definitely looked like the 3 that we talked about: Concord, Cole Brown, and
Keen.
You think Keen?
Oh, Keen was up there at the
Bishop
beginning.
Gordon.
BG?
Yeah.
to be honest, I've never seen Aiden Cox make a failed move in a race. Usually when he goes to the front, he stays there and he draws ahead either a lot or enough.
So with that, we're gonna go ahead and see where he ended up at our next spot, a little bit further down in the woods.
All right, the lead vehicle is in view, so they should be coming around soon.
In first place, it looks to be Aiden Cox,
Aidan Cox.
followed by Nate Fonikowski and another man.
And I believe this is Nate's home course, actually, so he has a lot of experience in running this, so him being up there is telling that he's ran this course multiple times. But Aiden has a pretty sizable lead, actually, at this point. He looks really smooth, really fluid.
Yep. Aiden's followed by 2, and then there's the pack right after them.
Yep, so we got Nate Fonikowski, and then that looks like it is Patrick Gondini. So they're moving.
Here comes the pack.
Yep, and there's a pack.
Looks like
Lars.
2 Cole Brown,
Yep, and then
2 of Keene,
there's Tyler Sheedy. And there's
another Bishop Girton,
another Bishop Girton, and another Bishop Girton, and then there's Cole Brown.
4
right
Cole
there.
Brown, 4 Bishop Girton right now.
So it looks like it's really close. Yep, so we saw out front, we saw Aidan Cox looking really smooth.
There he is, back in focus,
So
still leading the group.
he looks like he's starting to kind of get back to where he should be after having a season of not necessarily bad races, but a little bit of like injury and sickness. So him being back and him being here shows that he's finally starting to get his rhythm again.
So after Aiden, we still have those top 2 guys, looking like Bishop Girton with Nate Fonikowski, and I think Patrick Gandini.
Yeah, and those are our like top 3 who you'd expect to be in the front of any race anyways. And Aiden looks like his lead got bigger.
Definitely increasing his lead. Next to Fonikowski, Gandini, and then the rest of the pack.
Looks like Lars of Cole Brown is their second, and Concord looks like their first is right there.
So 2 Cole Brown, 2 Keene, 2 Bishop Girton. There's Cole Brown's 3 and 4, along with Bishop Girton's 3.
Yep.
Another Concord.
Ooh, wait.
Another Concord.
Yeah, and then that's Bishop Girton right
3
there.
and 4. So it looks like it's going to come down to the 5th man in this race, and we'll see where they place.
Yeah, so it's really close so far, and with Aiden and Nate being up front and the rest behind, it's really going to come down
Another
to that 5th.
Concord. That might be their 5th.
Oh, there's
Cole Brown's
Cole
5th.
Brown. There's their 5th,
And then that must be the 5th for Concord. If not, they're 6th. Another Keene. So it looks like it's between Concord, Cole Brown, and Keene, and maybe Bishop Girton.
yeah, that's Bishop Girton's either 5th or 6th. I think that might be her 5th. I haven't seen their other runners, but should be a pretty close race. Right now, it's anyone between those 3, but Cole Brown seems to have a little bit of an edge because they have that first place.
Definitely going to be a tight race. We'll see if Aiden Cox, Gandini, or Fonikowski will end up edging this one out.
And there's our leader, Aiden Cox, just passing that 2-mile mark.
He's way out front. I can't even see the next guy yet. I mean, he's killing it.
He's looking back.
He just took a look back. Let's go, Cox!
So far, second place, not in sight.
150-yard lead at least.
Wow. Here we go, number 2.
Fonikowski, he's holding on.
You got some work
It looks like he's picked it up a little bit over Gandini.
He's on your ass, Nate! Catch his ass, let's go!
Really ambitious.
Cooper looks good. Tyler Sheedy's having a day. You don't count him out.
Cole Brown with 2, Keene with 2.
Go, webinar!
BG with 3.
Go, Grant, come on!
Tonkins 2 and 3.
This is Cole Brown, 3 and 4.
Cole Brown's having a good day. Bishop Girton. Matt Allen.
Boys, watch off!
Exeter. Right now, Bishop Curtin's taking this. They get a low stick too. They got a number 2.
Looks like it's one of those races that could come down to the number 5 man. That's Cole Brown's number 5.
That's Conference fifth right here.
Conference 5th. So I'd say Bishop Curtin's in good shape. I'd have to give them the nod right now.
Yeah, I agree. I think right now it's their race to lose. Same thing could be said with Aiden Cox as the individual.
Well, he ain't losing that. He was at least 150, 175 yards in front when he went by us.
He looked calm and smooth too. I mean, he's looking over at a smart point to do so where you can look back quite a ways.
But Tyler Sheedy was having a really good day.
Yeah, he was up in that front group. Top 10, definitely.
Dover's one of those teams that managed a somewhat unlikely feat of qualifying 3 individuals without bringing a team. That's crazy.
All right, here we go. We're at 4,000 meters right here. And a reminder, 15 minutes is 12-minute pace, and Aiden Cox is coming through right now at 11:58.
Let's go, Cox. Let's go, Cox.
You're watching history right now. He's got a monster lead. That's what you get with going out with the state record holder. And in second, we have Patrick Gandini running a phenomenal time right now. And behind him is Nate Fondakowski.
12:23 through the 4K mark.
Then we got Kindop, Brennan, Sheedy, Hooper. A couple more guys. All right, here we go.
Aidan Cox.
We're right before the 3 mile. He's got 14:10 on the clock. He's gonna be your state champion. How fast is he gonna do it? Come on, Aiden! Right now, he looks like he's just floating. Clock reads 14:25 right now. He's going through 3 mile around 14:27. Course record's 14:58.
Aidan Cox cresting the hill, looking at his record time.
He's got some moving to do, but he can do it.
20 seconds, 100 meters, I think so.
He looks good. 14:46 right now. He's got a hump. 14:58's the record.
All alone. 2021 media champions, boy champion, Aidan Cox.
Still so now he owns the first and second fastest time.
And here we go. This is a battle. Looks like Kindop.
Kindop comes out of nowhere.
He did. He was back in 5th, I think, at 2 miles.
And he just took over the great Gandini. So he's putting up a great race.
Zach Hooper.
Kindop, Gandini.
Right through, guys, right through.
Luke Brennan.
Luke Brennan puts up a race. Harriman. Hooper.
Good finish, guys.
Tyler Sheedy with a big day. Fondakowski, who led most of the way early on. Lars Hogney. Jerry Khalil.
That's your top 10 right there.
Hills and Hilts.
Get to start looking at team-wise. BG's number 2, BG's number 3. Cole Brown's number
that
3.
freshman kid. He looks good. Giordana Murphy showed up today.
Concord. Cole Brown's number 4.
Well, Brown's got the early 8. Matt Allen with another good day.
I see BG 4 and 5 though.
Bishop Gurdon's going to take the home field advantage. Take this.
Water down to the left.
So they just put a stamp on who's the best team in the state.
Absolutely. I don't think it was going to be any closer than about 20 seconds, or 20 points, maybe more than that.
Here comes Concord's 4th. Cole Brown's 5th. A lot of bodies coming through now, right on that bell curve.
Good chunk of guys coming across, like you said. Shows just how competitive this race can be.
Concord's fifth.
Don't stop! Don't stop! Don't stop! You get right into it! Stop!
An issue for Concord all season. There was a veritable flood of bodies between their 4 and 5 today. It's just so tough to meet a chance when you got kids finishing about 1 a second in the high 16s range.
Keep coming, guys. Keep coming. Right through.
Overall, pretty impressive day.
Very impressive. So like I said, Cox has the first and second fastest time on this course now.
Yeah, he's got back-to-back, and he's not done because he's not a
Still
senior.
another year left. No one's ever won the MOCs 3 times on the boys' side.
By the time he graduates, it's going to seem like he's been around in high school for about 11 years. All of it very fun to watch.
Just fluid.
Yeah, and again, he did most of that alone, you know?
Yeah.
We saw, after that 1 mile, there was separation. He didn't have any
But I
pressure.
gotta tell you, sometimes it's a lot easier being alone. You know, once you know you've won, then you can really just focus on yourself. You don't have to focus on winning anymore. You can just focus on, you know, just running hard.
Yeah, relaxing and running, and that's really the type of runner that he is, you know?
And when you spend a lot of time by yourself in the league, you learn how to manage that time and your resources out there wisely. I can speak from high school experience.
Yeah. Like we saw last week, Kindop having a pretty good kick in that final mile.
He looked great. He looked great.
I don't think Kane really had a great showing today.
Well, you got 2 coming right now, so. But they didn't have a lot of kids come out this year too. When I was doing the preview earlier on in the year, looking at it, I was like, wow, they could have been a threat, but they had like 3 kids that didn't come out. You know, and COVID played a part in that, I'm sure.
Yeah, a lot of these kids, when they missed spring track in 2020, I know that a lot of kids in New Hampshire weren't especially still connected to their coaches because there simply wasn't a season. There wasn't even a modified season, and I think that carried over. And even some fairly good kids kind of lost their interest. That can happen.
Any other year, we'd be gloating about Kindop and Gandini because their times are awesome. I mean, those were 2 of the fastest times ever.
I saw that a freshman from BG ran 16 flat, so that's promising.
He's really good, man. He's really good. That kid's just smooth.
Pretty impressive day as we hit that 20-minute mark. Strong showing individually from a few of those top guys.
A lot of young runners coming in right now.
Yeah,
I've seen a lot of younger runners on the boys' side this year.
especially when you look at the team and the top teams, you know, like I know Co-Brown, for instance, they got 1 senior. And they're still their top team with just that. So next year, and I tell you, the other thing too is a lot of these teams, we don't see it. They're all going through something this year. Last year with COVID going on, you know, they each have their individual battles where maybe they have an athlete out for a couple of weeks or this, that, and the other thing. So it's a true testament when we get to this point in the season where we really get to see all these guys competing their hardest and finishing pretty well.
And I think we'll be well represented next week in Vermont.
The better a team is, the more precarious it tends to be. You know, later in the season, you run into kids who are redlining. You might lose one to injury. You might see some weird, unforeseen circumstance. That's when they're far enough into the fall. You know, with school, for things to become a distraction, and it's difficult to keep a good team together into November. You know, it's a testament to coaching and to the kids themselves when you see that happening.
And it looks like with the majority of the runners past us. Once again, this is NewHampshireCrossCountry.com, powered by Runners Alley, coming at you from the New Hampshire Meet of Champions 2021. This year's Meet Hub brought to you by Arthur Thomas Properties, Seacoast's leader in property management, leasing, and real estate sales. This has been the boys' championship race.